welcome back to the Gear Up channel. Today we will be talking to Francisco from UNL. He works for UNL's engineering living community. So, what is a living community? Let's go find out.
All right, so hello everyone. My name is Francisco Padilla. Um, I am a learning communities coordinator at UNL, as you can see. Um, I've been there for like maybe 2.5 years. It's been quite a few years that I started working there, and I love working for learning communities at UNL. Uh, but I started my higher education when I was actually an undergrad. When I was a freshman, I was a Thompson Scholar, and so that means I was part of a learning community. I had a peer mentor who kind of helped me transition through my first year of college, and my second year of college, I had the opportunity to also be a mentor myself. And I feel like that's when I started to realize, like, oh, I think I like working at a university setting. Because I initially was going to be a pharmacist, but I wasn't really like, I never really had a conversation or really thought about what I wanted to be. I think I just chose something, uh, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And so being a mentor gave me an opportunity to kind of practice, like, oh, I'm going to be working with students. And then I got involved in college. And then my senior year of college, my fourth year, I became an RA. And so I had more opportunities to work with students. And then that's when I decided that I was going to go into student affairs. And then I work for the Office of Multicultural Affairs in Kearney. Now they have a different name. Um, I think it's Office of Diversity and Inclusion or something like that. They changed after I left, so I'm not completely sure. Um, but I was an assistant there, and I had a really amazing experience working one-on-one with students, with first-year students, all the way up to students who were getting ready to graduate. And so um, that's sort of where I figured out, like, oh, this is what I want to do. And I loved it. I got my master's in student affairs. And so it was a really good experience because I was studying the things that I was practicing. And so basically, all of the biology and stuff that I was learning in my classes as an undergrad, it didn't go out the door, but I wasn't using it. And the stuff that I was learning in my master classes was stuff that I was practicing with my students, like how to be supportive, a lot of like counseling techniques and all that. But mainly making sure that students were, getting what they needed, connecting them to resources, and just trying to help them figure out their experience.
Awesome. For our students who don't know what learning communities are, can you kind of give a brief description of what they are?
You can choose to be part of a learning community, and that's sort of where I come in. And so you can either live like as a student there, just sort of like the normal experience, but you can also choose to be in a learning community, and you do that when you do your contract and all that stuff. But basically, you choose to live with a group of other students who have a similar interest. Um, Mostly is a group of students who are studying a similar career field. So, for example, if you want to be an engineer, we have 3 engineering learning communities. If you want to go into business, we have 2 business learning communities. And we have a learning community for many majors. There are a few that we don't have one for, but we always try to fit them in somewhere else, just because there's a lot of benefits. I think for me, the main one is living with people who are studying in the same classes as you are. And so um, if your roommate has 4 classes that you're also taking, it's really easy to just go find a study place and do your homework together, study for exams together, go to class together. If you don't understand a subject or something, you have somebody who lives with you who can help you understand something, and vice versa. And so that's, I think, the biggest benefit. There's also a social benefit. We do a lot of different activities for them. And so we have peer mentors who are upper class students who they don't live with them, but they spend a lot of time on the floor interacting with their mentees. Um, they do one-on-ones, so 3 times a year they meet and talk about how their experience is going, how they're transitioning, those kind of things. They also do floor hours, and so basically just the time where they hang out on the floor, either doing homework, uh, answering questions, or if there's no questions, maybe just getting to know each other. But they also plan events. They can be social events for the whole community to come together and build community, but they can also be more academic, career related events. Um, some cool ones that we've done in the past. We've had a mentor for our architecture learning community. They do an architectural crawl. So they go to Omaha and they have like a couple architecture firms lined up, and so they go see them. The architects basically tell them like the culture of their company, what kind of things they look for, what experiences they've had in the past. And so as a first year student or as a freshman, you already start interacting with architects and getting to know the different work cultures and basically what kind of things do I want to do in the future. And so we do that throughout all learning communities. um, and so there's just a lot of different benefits that you probably wouldn't get unless you were in a learning community. And all you have to do is sign up. There is a fee of $95, but I think it's completely worth it. Like I was also in a learning community when I was a first year student. Mine wasn't career related. Mine was more of like I was a Thompson Scholar, and so it was more of like supporting students. And I still got a lot out of it, but I think our focus is a little bit different than what was offered to me, and I think it's still a great experience.
And lastly, do you have any advice for our middle schoolers getting ready for high school?
Um, I was thinking of that. Like, what was I doing when I was in middle school? I remember being excited to go to high school and kind of like growing up. Like, I wanted to grow up and do all those things. Um, I would say enjoy the time that you're in middle school and also in high school because the time goes by really fast. Like even college it goes really fast, and so take the time to enjoy it. I would say if you're going into high school, um, get involved. There's a lot of different activities that are there. If you're shy or scared of getting involved, I would say um, ask a friend of yours to get involved with you. One of my good friends from high school, his name's David. uh, we both joined robotics together, and we were like huge robotics nerds, but we loved it. And it was like we were pretty good at it, and it was one of the best things I did. I also did speech. I did soccer, cross country. I even did wrestling for a year. So just get involved. It's a good way to make friends and just have fun. Um, and also like to try to figure out what you want to do. Like I know some people who do robotics and stuff like that. They end up going into computer science, or they want to be engineers. Like that's sort of when you start to figure out what is it that you like, and maybe also what you're good at. And you do that by just kind of having fun with your friends, doing some activity. Um, so yeah, just enjoy the moment, get involved, um, hang out with friends and everything. In high school, things like your grades really, like your grades are always important, but also your grades start to count for what college is going to be looking at, whether it's going to be your GPA or just knowing how to study. Because when you go to college, you really have to know how to study because classes are, I wouldn't say they're more difficult, but you're more dependent on yourself. Like you rely less on others, and so if you can figure out how to study and how to prepare for exams in high school and not have to do it in college, then that's a huge step up. for students and parents to go start visiting colleges. Like, I know I didn't. I think I only went to Carney the first time because I think I was offered a scholarship and I needed to go like accepted. Uh, but I feel like it would have been nice to have gone to see more colleges. Like, you can go tour UNL, you can go tour Wayne State or Kearney, or if you're thinking of going out of state, making sure that you go see those places because um, you kind of want to see what environment you're going to be want to like where you want to live for the 4 years that you're in college, and you don't want to leave that like till the very end or rush it. Like, if you can start getting to know those environments early on, then you you have something to look forward to when you're going to go to college. So um, don't leave all those things till the end.
Forget if you're going to use the two hashtags. Sorry, I'm still figuring out how to do the camera. To the hashtag Gucci and Gear Up Works. And then also, don't forget to do the QR code if you're going to fill out the form and you don't want to have to go find the tracking form. Just take your camera out and snap a picture of that, and it'll take you right to the form as well. So, thank you so much, and we can't wait to see you next week.